Evaluate each expression. Part A. 2 5/10 to the 0th power. The definition of a zero exponent says that for any non-zero number a to the 0th power equals 1. Because a equals 2 5/10 and 2 5/10 does not equal 0, 2 5/10 to the 0th power equals 1. Part B. The quantity -3 to the -2nd power. The definition of a negative exponent says that for any integer n and any non-zero number a to the -nth power is the reciprocal of a to the nth power. Because n equals 2 and a equals -3, the quantity -3 to the -2nd power is the reciprocal of the quantity -3 to the 2nd power. So the quantity -3 to the -2nd power equals 1 divided by the quantity -3 to the 2nd power. Because the quantity -3 to the 2nd power equals 9, the quantity -3 to the -2nd power equals 1/9. Simplify the expression 2 to the 0th power times x to the 2nd power divided by y to the -2nd power. Write your answer using only positive exponents. By the definition of a zero exponent, 2 to the 0th power equals 1. So 2 to the 0th power times x to the 2nd power divided by y to the -2nd power equals x to the 2nd power divided by y to the -2nd power. By the definition of a negative exponent, y to the -2nd power is the reciprocal of y to the 2nd power. So y to the -2nd power equals 1 divided by y to the 2nd power. So 2 to the 0th power times x to the 2nd power divided by y to the -2nd power equals x to the 2nd power divided by the quantity 1 divided by y to the 2nd power, which simplifies to x to the 2nd power times y to the 2nd power. Simplify each expression. Write your answer using only positive exponents. Part A. 2 to the 3rd power times 2 to the 5th power. The product of powers property says that to multiply powers with the same base, add their exponents. So 2 to the 3rd power times 2 to the 5th power equals 2 to the 3 plus 5 power, which simplifies to 2 to the 8th power, or 256. Part B. The quantity -7 to the 2nd power divided by the quantity -7 to the 4th power. The quotient of powers property says that to divide powers with the same base, subtract their exponents. So the quantity -7 to the 2nd power divided by the quantity -7 to the 4th power equals the quantity -7 to the 2 minus 4th power, which simplifies to the quantity -7 to the -2nd power. By the definition of a negative exponent, The quantity negative 7 to the negative second power is the reciprocal of the quantity negative 7 to the second power. So the quantity negative 7 to the negative second power equals 1 divided by the quantity negative 7 to the second power, or 1/49th. Part C. D to the negative third power to the fifth power. The power of a power property says that to find a power of a power, multiply the exponents. So d to the negative third power to the fifth power equals d to the negative 3 times 5 power, which simplifies to d to the negative 15th power. By the definition of a negative exponent, d to the negative 15th power is the reciprocal of d to the 15th power, or 1 divided by d to the 15th power. Simplify each expression. Write your answer using only positive exponents. Part A. The quantity negative 3x to the third power. The power of a product's property says that to find the power of a product, find the power of each factor and multiply. So the quantity negative 3x to the third power equals the quantity negative 3 to the third power times x to the third power, which simplifies to negative 27x to the third power. Part B. The quantity b divided by negative 3 to the fourth power. The power of a quotient property says that to find the power of a quotient, find the power of the numerator and the power of the denominator and divide. So the quantity b divided by negative 3 to the fourth power equals b to the fourth power divided by the quantity negative 3 to the fourth power, which simplifies to b to the fourth power divided by 81. Part C. The quantity 2x divided by 5 to the third power. The power of a quotient property says that to find the power of a quotient, find the power of the numerator and the power of the denominator and divide. So the quantity 2x divided by 5 to the third power equals the quantity 2x to the third power divided by 5 to the third power. The power of a product property says that to find the power of a product, find the power of each factor and multiply. So the expression simplifies to 2 to the third power times x to the third power divided by 5 to the third power, or 8x to the third power divided by 125. Part D. The quantity 3c divided by 4 to the negative second power. The power of a quotient property says that to find the power of a quotient, find the power of the numerator and the power of the denominator and divide. So the quantity 3c divided by 4 to the negative second power equals the quantity 3c to the negative second power divided by 4 to the negative second power. By the definition of a negative exponent, the quantity 3c to the negative second power is the reciprocal of 3c to the second power, and 4 to the negative second power is the reciprocal of 4 to the second power. So the expression simplifies to the quantity 1 divided by the quantity 3c to the second power divided by the quantity 1 divided by 4 to the second power, which simplifies to 4 to the second power divided by the quantity 3c to the second power. The power of a product property says that to find the power of a product, find the power of each factor and multiply. So the expression simplifies to 4 to the second power divided by the quantity 3 to the second power times c to the second power, or 16 divided by 9c to the second power. Which of the expressions shown represent the volume of the cone, where r is the radius and h is the height? First write the formula for the volume of a cone. The volume V equals 1/3 times pi times r to the second power times h. In the diagram, the radius r equals h divided by 2. Substitute h divided by 2 for r to get V equals 1/3 times pi times the quantity h divided by 2 to the second power times h. Next, use the power of a quotient property to get V equals 1/3 times pi times the quantity h to the second power divided by 2 to the second power times h, which simplifies to V equals pi times h to the third power divided by 12. So any expression equivalent to pi times h to the third power divided by 12 represents the volume of the cone. Note that h equals 2r. When you substitute 2r for h in pi times h to the third power divided by 12, you can write pi times the quantity 2r to the third power divided by 12 as 2 times pi times r to the third power divided by 3. Note that none of the other expressions are equivalent to pi times h to the third power divided by 12. So the expressions pi times h to the third power divided by 12 and 2 times pi times r to the third power divided by 3 represent the volume of the cone. A laptop computer uses approximately 8 4/10 times 10 to the negative third power kilowatt hours of energy in 3 5/10 times 10 to the negative first power hours. How many kilowatt hours of energy does the laptop use per hour? Write your answer in scientific notation and in standard form. Divide to find the unit rate. The unit rate is given by the quantity 8 4/10 times 10 to the negative third power divided by the quantity 3 5/10 times 10 to the negative first power. Notice that the units in the numerator are kilowatt hours, and the units in the denominator are hours. Next, rewrite the expression as 8 4/10 divided by 3 5/10 times the quantity 10 to the negative third power divided by 10 to the negative first power. Note that 8 4/10 divided by 3 5/10 equals 2 4/10. Using the quotient of powers property, 10 to the negative third power divided by 10 to the negative first power equals 10 to the negative second power. So the expression equals 2 4/10 times 10 to the negative second power. So the laptop uses 2 4/10 times 10 to the negative second power, or 24 thousandths kilowatt hour of energy per hour.